Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm warming up my hands if you can't hear it because it's starting to get chilly in Wisconsin. You don't understand that in California, do you?
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that too, because it was the coldest summer in the Bay Area
Really?
this summer. And it wasn't that warm. That warm. It was in the 70s most of the time, which I absolutely love, and it's perfect weather. But yeah, fall's going to heat up, so I can't relate.
Yeah, I can't relate. No,
Can't relate.
frost on the windows. All right, before we talk about the topic and
And the weather.
numbers,
Yeah.
we want to definitely talk about Coaching Youth Hoops. Go over and check it out. Have some big changes coming along, but you want to go over and check out Coaching Youth Hoops and all the practice plans, everything you need. If you're a youth basketball coach, doesn't matter if you're a beginner, doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 10 years, got a little bit of everything that you need. Right, Coach? What else?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've poured over 35 years of experience into everything on coaching youth hoops. And we know what works, what doesn't work. We only put in things that we know we've gotten results from over multiple years. So coaching youth, go check it out, coachingyouthhoops.com.
Yep. And what else do we have?
We got some AI. Yeah, we got some fascinating tools coming out with AI. We sat back and looked at where are some opportunities that will help coaches even coach better, right? And we saw an opportunity to give you insights into how your players are performing on court and how then to quickly and easily translate that to a practice plan during the week. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? All we need is some game footage, ideally more than one video, so we can see some trends, but we can even start with a video. We give you deep insights into the performance, stats, but also, which I love, is what's the story behind the game? So what do I need to tell my kids at my next practice? What does a practice plan look like based on the last game results? What does the individual need to practice? So we go pretty in depth. It's in beta right now. We got a number of customers testing it out. So far, so good. But you can get on that list as well. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com/AI.
All right. Not creative with the URLs, like I said, but shorter.
Keep them short.
We're keeping it. We're
Easy.
keeping it better.
You yelled at me when I didn't keep it
I
short, so
I know I do yell at you, and you don't keep it short. All right. So today we're talking about low number. What did you mean by low numbers?
The typical youth practice. You have 10 players on the roster, 3 of them show up for practice.
And they don't let you know necessarily,
Yeah,
right?
well, they don't let you know. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Or
that
even if they
was
do let you know, the question is, do you continue to practice if you only have 3? Short
right.
answer, yes.
Well, that was one of the hardest parts for me is not necessarily knowing. This is where coaching youth hoops will help you a little bit because there's a lot of resources there. But not necessarily knowing if I was going to have 10, knowing, thinking I was going to have 10, and then 7 showed up, or thinking that I was going to have 7 and 30 minutes before mom calls and Johnny's 6, and now I'm down to 6, and then 5. But then someone twists their ankle, I'm down to 5. So I almost had to go in with multitude of practice plans. I had my big practice plan. I had my small game practice plan. I had my we're just going to shoot and work on ball handling practice plan because I'm down to 3 or 4, like you said.
Yeah.
Because I still want to work. Whoever's there, I'm going to do something with.
Right.
I think the lowest number I ever got down to was 3 or 4. I always knew I'd have 1 because I usually my son or daughter would be one of them. So I knew worst cases I'm going to work them.
Right.
So I never was that concerned, but I think, you have to be prepared. And from someone that's taught for 37 years, I'm going to tell you, there's 2 things with you have to be ready for low numbers, and you have to be ready to go through your lesson plan / practice plan faster than you think. So I always tell people if it's a 2-hour practice, I have a 3-hour practice plan because you tend to teach faster than you think.
Right.
Or you need to move on faster. So I always have extra, if I have a 2-hour practice plan, I always have an extra half-hour worth of stuff that if we get through everything, because I've gone fast or they're bored or that's not working, I can go to plan B because this is just someone that's taught really long. I don't want dead time or dead period time. But I think preparation's the kicker. And again, that's where I think coaching youth hoops really helps out personally. I'm biased, but that's where it really helps out because it's going to give you lots of different options.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other thing to think about too is go back and listen to building buy-in. Right, it's a previous podcast where we talked about how to get more. I mean, essentially trying to get kids to come to practice and games, right, and be part of the team. So go listen to that. That'll give you some tips. Okay, so we're really talking about the tactics. What do we do when you don't have the numbers? And as coaches, I always thought to myself, at first I was always disappointed. Like, ugh, didn't have the numbers. I had this perfect practice plan with, today we're going to learn how to do the offense, right? Or whatever it might be, that takes a team effort. And you have 3, it's like, okay, you know what? The 3 most important people showed up. That's the way I kind of look at it. Now I need to
The
do my
ones that
job.
could show up too. And it's like we talked about last week. Sometimes the kids don't have control because they got to go to
Right,
sisters.
yeah.
They got to go to sisters musical, or they got to go to grandma's 80th birthday party. They don't necessarily have the control they maybe rather be at practice or have fun there.
Right.
So some of that is out of their control too. But I think as the adult or the coach, just knowing as a youth coach, I in the ideal world, I'd love to keep 12. But the magic number is probably closer to 10 for youth team because you want to get everyone playing time. And ideally, it'd go with 8. I personally would keep 8. But then how do you go 5-on-5 or I mean, there's this weird dynamic. You go to 12, all of a sudden now 12 show up. It's like, okay, well, the bottom 3
and they show up for the game, right?
And they show up for the game. So it's this weird juggling thing you have to deal with sometimes, I think, a little bit.
It is. It's hard. The numbers are always hard. But
hard.
The thing to think about is if you do have, when you have less than the 5 that you need to run a team-based practice, then just go to skill-based practice. Think about yourself as a personal trainer.
That's a great idea. Yes.
I had we had a camp, and it was to begin with, the numbers were really low for whatever reason. Timing was just off. I had one girl showed up, and you know what we did? It was a short camp. So it was only an hour 15. we worked on her shooting and her shooting stand, her shooting form for an hour and 15 minutes. And the development she made in an hour 15 minutes was mind blowing.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
And little fifth grade girl too, right? Just working on form, and I taught her. I know,
parents probably
basically,
loved it.
loved it, right?
Like,
She got a one-on-one training
I
session
know.
from me. Oh,
So don't look
just
at
things
it
like
as a
that.
negative.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Yeah. There's no kid on the planet today that can't do more ball handling.
Yeah. Or play
right?
one-on-one if you got two kids.
And then play one. Yeah, we go
one-on-one,
right?
Yeah.
That's what we do, right? One-on-one. So
yeah,
things like that. It's like
it's been a while since I've coached a youth team per se, but I mean, it wasn't half the practices. I never had all of them, but it was probably maybe 70% of the time I had 10. I'm just trying to remember back to my numbers. And the AU was different than club, and then club was different than the feeder
YMCA
program,
or the local rec
team. So they're all a little different as far as commitment goes, but and you know what? It was like this in every sport: soccer, baseball, blah blah blah. That is like you can't always count on it. So prepare is what I would say. That'd be
I mean, definitely prepare, but then just think about, okay, well, what could you do with 3 people? You could teach the screen and roll, right? And work on that, right? As coach said, you could go small-sided games, 1 versus 2, 2 versus 1. Right? There's all kinds of skills that you can do just with 3 people. And again, I like, just even take your offense and break it down to a half of a half, right? So a quarter of a court, right? And just practice different rules based out of that and just go through the motion. Or, if their parents are there, get them involved on the offense side or defensive side too, just to do something.
I'll give you some advice. Find a good mom or dad that can be your 10th.
Yeah.
I'm just being real because I had some good assistants,
absolutely.
And sometimes it was 2 of them. And again, it's the 40-year-old going against the 9-year-old, but it's a body, and you can do some things if maybe you have a tournament and you got to work on some out of bounds plays and blah blah blah. It's just a body. So so that's bit advice. Number one is prepare for the worst. Number 2 is find good assistants that can step in, and number 3 is, do they have a brother or sister that sometimes comes and watches practice or can jump in? Because I've done that in the past too. It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
You're a 6th grade team, you get the 4th grade brother. Oh, we'll throw you in. You can, again, those are harder to necessarily sometimes find, but anyway, those are my things on buy-in. Anything else, Coach?
Just the last thing here is just, again, don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as, hey, as an opportunity to do skills training, or break your offense down and your defense down or your plays down into the individual piece, and make the best of the time that you have. There's always ways to, like I said, there's no kid on the planet that can't
work
ball handle more, shoot more, or whatever, work on their footwork more.
They can always do something, guaranteed.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Until next week.
Until next week.